Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands...
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
Ah, you two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel.
I know you very well.
And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately,
We were
you
even
need not
close.
love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since
All right,
passed.
good morning, everybody. Back to running this again.
An indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorah?
Right.
Yes, the scourge of the circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole
The most
degenerate race.
depraved.
He slaughtered 6 of my fellow guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
Let me get this microphone
You somehow survived this
position adjusted.
I and 2 others. The circle.
Not sure I like it on this
Only
thing,
we
but
3 were spared.
oh well.
Convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me, sir?
All right.
Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy?
No, I gotta get settled in here before the run actually starts.
We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead.
So good morning, day, afternoon, night, whatever it is where you are.
Man, I know all about your
As
silly
always,
little
jump in the
schemes,
Discord,
but you're simply out of your depth.
which I think the link just showed
You
up,
underestimate me,
chat,
Raziel.
or whatever.
Let me show you.
The Discord command in chat. Jump in,
Kain is
let us know what you want us to play.
unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you
We will do just
See
about
how he
anything.
lingers at the very pillars he is destined to
Speed
destroy.
runs, challenge
Foolish
runs,
confidence
co-op.
has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this.
As long as you're
Yes,
gonna
Raziel,
watch,
they are the
we'll do it.
embodiment of the divine force which preserves.
Right now, I'm a Soul Reaver 2 grind.
Pillars maintain their delicate balance, and
On the
Kain
cusp,
is destined to be the
improving
force on which
my
that
record.
balance turns.
But
I believe you have already endured the wasteland
challenging.
wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril.
oh, in any case,
Again,
get
the
this
hero,
run going.
Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this.
Go to him, Raziel,
But first,
and end this.
you'll need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your presence here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But
Do what you have to do. Oh, great movements require
a
few
few martyrs.
What a ruthless fucking
Alone,
bastard.
I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how?
I had not yet discovered. That was shit. Alright. Only 1 second. No. I know.
The stronghold, I discovered evidence of
Bring
my
it back.
former nobility
Easily.
and my life as a Sarafan priest. This
Cleaned
was
him
the
and smudged
heritage
him
so
again already.
foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Alright.
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies,
That's why you
at his
get the
mercy.
guy on the left, because then you end up right in front of the
The
door.
staff have any effect on the Reaver?
It's gonna be a bit slower than
Prepare to die.
As I neared
Then,
the stronghold's inner
whatever.
sanctum, a strange sensation crept
fine.
over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around
Alright, so
me. The
we have
disturbance
1
seemed
minute
to emanate
of
from
free
the
time
sanctuary's
save
furthest chapel.
if
As I cautiously
this run goes exactly
a
as the
sense of
last one.
dislocation intensified.
There's also a little bit throughout, and
So
of course,
this was the tomb of the beloved King
there's always
of the
room for
just,
improvement.
beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade.
And
I was
as you can
reminded
see,
of
some
the
of
journey
best
of the
is
fledgling vampire, how Mobius
fast.
coerced him to
Like,
travel
that-
back in history and
that would be
assassinate
crazy.
women, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among
I don't
the
know, so
citizens
getting a
of the
335 would be definitely doable
Here I discovered the source of the displacement.
on a really good run.
The Soul Reaver itself.
But, you know, I should, in theory. The past 2 runs I've had have been up to a minute and a half ahead.
Until, of course,
So I should be able to save a minute and a half.
when he tried to strike
Hopefully.
me down. Thus the captive's
which would put me on the cusp of breaking 336.
binding itself
But
to me became my symbiotic weapon.
any improvement will be good.
And so the Reaver met
Hopefully-
its core self, still
hopefully
imprisoned in this
today's the day.
horrible shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the
Shit.
red blade uncoiled itself and snaked down. the
Hopefully
right
today's the
physical
day, but
blade,
I don't know.
embracing its twin.
You never
its
know.
mirror self.
You never
The
know.
Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused, and for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity, willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I,
Such a long run that
merely
it's
its helpless host,
hard not to make
my soul being
a
linked
mistake.
to restore the blade. But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host. And just as I
And
neared
to
the
destroy
brink of
its
the blade,
host.
the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius?
Is this your trap? How mine?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs
I've said
at our
our folly.
and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have
Inspired
terror
in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you,
old
man.
Bound together as they are,
I
can
friggin' love
only
that line.
imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing.
These blades coiled in sinister embrace.
You're trembling, Mobius.
Ugh.
Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager.
I also
for your
like
good
the line
intentions. If
that
there's
Mobius
anything
says,
left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this.
I guess you
While
could kill
you
me,
threaten me, your
but you
true enemy
don't.
eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon
Yeah,
enough.
times
As you said,
blah blah blah
death
affords me a
comes to us
certain
all.
level of omniscience.
The wheel of fate
No, you
runs
don't kill me.
What did you
That
say?
honor belongs to your maker, Kain.
The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking
Freaking God's own attendant.
And I
I
don't
don't believe even you
would take that risk.
risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Kain is waiting for me.
Kain is
Go
waiting
then,
for me.
Raziel. Seek Kain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
And retribution.
Is motivation enough?
By my soul, you almost had me.
My little blue assassin.
But
That'll
that'll
be
be the one and only
Only
chance
chance
you
you
get
get. I assure you.
of that.
I could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned,
All right,
the
let's
blade's
go
ravenous
get
appetite
this
could
run
not be contained.
underway.
It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger
On me.
So this was the legendary Janos Audren, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, He lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Sarafan finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Sarafan therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Audren truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Sarafan, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy? Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here, and then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses.
Just a moment.
For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan
All right.
self, memorialized
It was quick and
among
easy.
my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become, and a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
Damn you. I feel like that was decent. Not super fast. Could have been a lot faster, but it's fine.
And for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality. And I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind,
If I can get
was
through
nothing more
Future
than a corpse
and the Stronghold,
a lifeless
not have to
mass
heal,
bled dry
that
by
is like
corruption of Kain's
the best.
parasitic empire.
But
This was the
Healing
fragile world
once,
Kain
acceptable.
sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
I mean, obviously we have to get to that point first.
As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn to the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Oh, why do you do it? Why?
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned
I
my
tried to
spirit
swim up and
presence.
jump out, but
By simply touching the symbol,
then he just
I could
dived.
safely preserve the
God.
imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey. While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in
So,
time my journey would return. in full
it's one
circle to
thing
this
that
place. Infiltrating the fortress house
I should be
would
playing
no
on
small
controller,
feat.
but
The balcony that had provided my
so used to
escape was
keyboard.
now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as
That's
the
one
only
of the
means
things that
entry.
really
The gates were sealed, but like the time
diving
clearing
back
chamber I
under
had
when
seen
you're too
earlier,
close to the
their
top.
operation was undoubtedly linked to that
Ugh,
odd crystal
it's
mounted
annoying.
above the entrance.
Fine. Honestly, I should be. I don't know. I don't know what I will be, but should be even with the previous one. That's fine.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seemed
Should be
to
pretty
retain
close
much
to
of their
even.
former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the
It's time
unprotected
save in the
predators
dark
we-
shrine.
These creatures were
Not a whole
hunted
lot in the light
mercilessly and
shrine, but
oppressed. And while I still believed
that's
that
okay.
vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
Meh.
The pillars of Gnostic
5 more minutes.
Pristine, whole, and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state.
It's really kind of ridiculous that even though there's some parts, gameplay parts, you don't actually start doing anything until after the Elder God. 30 minutes before you actually start doing stuff.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to
Longer than that, almost 40
I might
minutes.
have guessed you'd meet me here.
Ugh. And there's still so much time to lose.
Side of hell, would you throw
End game.
yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or
Oh,
Mobius?
Mobius.
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain? Now,
Alright.
turn and face me.
Face me.
The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive,
Bound
you
here
condemn
by
Nosgoth
your
to eternity
refusal
of
to
pain.
die.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel
I don't know,
dies,
is it Kain's
I
fault?
may want to take her place
Or
as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
who else could it be? Mobius?
My God,
Yeah, no, because it's Mobius. It's his fault.
At the moment of my first
Right.
cry, Ariel
Because
the Guardian not
he condemned the vampires to death, basically. They were not able to protect the pillars.
Into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotic,
Something along those lines.
including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends.
It's so
into
weird,
madness.
though,
I
'cause
am tainted at the moment of my birth,
the Guardians
instantly
are
rendered
born
incapable of fulfilling the role
to protect them,
destiny
and
had
it's
prepared for me.
shall I
not
show you
really
the same mercy you
how
showed
they're
the
chosen
rest
is
of
just
the circle, then? You blithely murdered
not
them to restore
random.
their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice.
Whatever
What makes you exempt, Kain?
Elder God
You're
wants it to
barely
be, I
the last man
guess.
standing. Why condemn me?
Vampire,
for carrying
human.
out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself.
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me,
But do it honestly.
30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin.
With a
If the
dilemma.
coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree then that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel.
They belong to us.
To us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
There's a third option. A
Monumental secret.
hidden in your very presence here.
Alright.
But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times.
Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them. From the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable
I
sensation
bet
of
with
being
a
watched. Someone
bet you could skip that cutscene with one of the
interested in my
quick
presence here.
quick shifts, or whatever you want to call it.
From the look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key.
What am I doing?
It was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
Lights, Raziel. Brought back time, even though I messed up.
As I entered the chamber,
Cool.
I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic,
Where mine were demonic.
I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again,
writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
All right.
Lies, Raziel. Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Your silence was refreshing, but it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence.
All right.
Do not be insolent, Raziel.
So the next split.
Present here and everywhere.
So the next section, I can save
I am
time.
the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
So as much
Good
as
servant, I have many.
great as the voice acts,
And if I tell Mobius,
I still want to mock the Elder
giant
God.
squid, do you think his faith will falter?
Nothing against the voice act.
Raziel.
Just, you know,
But beware, to embrace a serpent is to invite poison into
it's
your
fun.
heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your
I
results.
feel like that's what Raziel wants to do. Find myself in my free
his
will.
integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths.
Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses.
In their wretched corpses.
Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are
All right.
my soul reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth. Kain's blood belongs on your head.
Kain indeed deserves to die.
Kain indeed deserves to
But
die.
if and when
Condemning me to this
I kill him,
repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
you've grown
Kain
will. Oh,
destroyed you
damn it.
without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after it
Grown
served him
willful,
faithfully
Raziel.
for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim.
I think you already said.
Remember your rage, Raziel.
Let it guide your hand. cool,
surfaced
man.
into a very different landscape. The daylight barely penetrated
Close
the
to a
dense
gold.
canopy of this forest. Here I discovered an ancient ruin, unmistakably one of Mobius's time-streaming chambers, but long ago sealed and abandoned to the encroaching swamp. I didn't currently possess the means to break this seal, but I thought in time
That I might. Damn it. It might be a couple seconds of time save in the swamp, but it has to go super well.
So, my lurking observer.
I hate
was
the swamp.
first. The creature vanished when he realized he was discovered.
I mean, I guess it's not that
Caught glimpse
bad,
of
but
him,
like
and his
just
features
landing in the
distinctly
mud.
marked.
Sometimes
This was the
the mud
vampire
extends
Void,
further
the
than you think it
monstrous
does.
assassin depicted in the
And
stronghold.
even though
Strange that a creature
the same
clumsy
jump
enough to
usually
assault the
works,
circle
you still get
single-handedly
stuck
would
somehow.
avoid confronting me. Very well. If Vorador would not come to me,
Alright.
I would go to him. But first, I needed to find some means of reaching that terrace.
Like that.
There appeared to be a passage here, leading northward into the mountains. The opening, however, was obstructed and too high for me to reach. Perhaps later I would find the means to bypass these obstacles. My lurking friend was nowhere to be seen, but I found these ruins even more intriguing. I recognized these arcane symbols from the chamber beneath the pillars, and realized that this shrine too was sealed to
Oh, but the bearer of the Reaver. Damn. Shucks. Fine, I didn't think I'd be able to eat it anyway. have to rely on skill and ability.
Throughout this ancient
Well, so far
trial,
that's 2 instances that could be possibly skipped
the apocalyptic war
with
against their mysterious
the
and equally
shift
inhuman adversary.
skip, whatever you want to call it.
These winged beings, it seemed, were not only the architects of the pillars,
Which
but of this enigmatic place
is
as well.
probably like,
And just as in the pillar's chamber, this shrine was adorned throughout with imagery of the Reaver,
I don't know.
depicted with the reverence of a
This one's
holy
like
icon.
15 seconds, but the other one is like 20 maybe. Cool. That was pretty good. Excuse me. Yeah. Ooh, that's nice.
As I neared the altar, I suddenly felt the Reaver quickening of its own volition. Just as in William's chapel, the balance of power tangibly shifted. Voracious and willful, the Soul Reaver was now in control, and I, merely its helpless puppet. The Reaver plunged itself into that mysterious altar, and devouring the energy that emanated from within, drained this place of its power.
Drain this place of its
The Reaver
power.
released me, and I realized as I recovered control that these ancient shrines were forges, each purpose-built to enhance the Reaver with elemental power.
Embers are an abomination.
Now I understood the purpose of the mysterious basins I had seen throughout my journey. They were elemental fonts, each attuned to a fundamental essence. When I forged the blade, every font in Nosgoth with the same elemental attunement was simultaneously quickened. The Reaver's enhancements were never permanent, but these fonts enabled me to re-imbue the blade by bathing it in the elemental energy distilled therein.
Concentric circles.
Concentric circles, one eclipsing the other. I recognized this symbol from the door sealing that other ancient shrine, the one I had seen in the lake outside the Sarafan stronghold. Perhaps now, armed as I was with the elemental power of darkness, I could return and gain entry.
Excuse me. You're a ragged excuse for a savior. Alright. We're back. Enjoy the cutscene.
You're a ragged excuse for a savior?
Vorador.
I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
All good, I hope? I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the Pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or the answer to them?
I don't know what you mean.
I will speak plainly then. I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question your purpose here. And what should I make of your appearance? Not human, clearly, and more demon than vampire. And the Pillars. It is no mere coincidence that your arrival in that clearing heralded the Pillars' decay. And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the Pillars' destruction or their salvation?
Neither.
Very well. Let us look at the other side of the coin. I have followed your journey and watched as you blithely unlocked secrets that have been sealed and forbidden for thousands of years. The path you have been treading is open to only one being. You don't know what you are, do you?
I have been many things. If you find me ignorant, enlighten me.
What's the point? This world is beyond redemption. Let the human cat...
All right.
I would expect better than meek capitulation from you.
Centuries of persecution have taught me well. 500 years ago, our race was nearly exterminated.
Centuries of persecution have taught me well.
And now the same sick drama unfolds again. In merely a decade, Mobius's cutthroat citizen army has nearly accomplished what the Seraphan could not. Vampires meddling in the affairs of men. Look where it's brought us.
What am I
Alright.
to make of these secrets I've uncovered then? The depiction
Should have a
of the
few
Wind
seconds
Race,
to save
the
here.
Pillars, and the Reaver.
Possibly.
Fairy tales, boy. The delusions of an ancient culture clinging to hope long after the world had discarded them. Their bloodline trickled away until only one of the ancients remained, sustained solely by obligation and his unfaltering faith in the old prophecies. But you see, even if you are who you
Appear to be. It no longer matters.
You're simply too late. Janos Audren, the Reaver Guardian, the last of the ancients, and my maker, was murdered by the Seraphan nearly 5 centuries ago. He
Centuries
alone
ago.
would have the answers you seek, but his secrets died with him. I don't know how you've come even this far without his guidance, or without the Reaver.
Oh my
Stolen
gosh.
500 years ago by the Seraphan. I'm afraid, my friend, that you and all
All
of
of
us
us are out of luck.
I had no less reason to trust Vorador than anyone else I had met.
I want a game where you
Fact,
play as
the
Ford.
ancient vampire was the most forthright being I had encountered thus far.
He seems
Janos
fun.
Audren was the key to all this. Then I would find him, and Mobius's time-streaming device would provide me passage. But first, I had to find a way back into the stronghold, and I suspected I would find the means within the lake's mysterious shrine.
Here it comes.
child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You are being misled, Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I
have no doubt
of that.
that.
The
The question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your arrogance will spell your demise, Raziel. Deny my will, and the arc of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
Your threats are unmoving. Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel.
To arms!
The hell? Guess I never cut it that sharp.
To arms! Die, fiend!
All right. I bet you could skip this cutscene. Do I have a save right before it? I think I have one from the swamp.
No room for doubt. These winged creatures were indeed the architects of the pillars.
I do, I
While the
could try
images
it.
were difficult to
I'm gonna have to
decipher,
write down.
the pillars appeared to banish or diminish their enemies somehow.
I don't have anything with me right now. It's gonna take time and experiment. Someday. Someday. Alright, so this will be the third cutscene coming out of a shift. So, if at all possible, it's like maybe 8 seconds. All right. Oh, yes, I made it. A little worried. Don't. Why are you doing it? Fuck shit. Playing it safe. And I just lost time. Shitty. Only a second. I know I keep dipping. The frame rate. Annoying. Shouldn't happen. Fine, right? Because there's time save coming up. And really, any little bit faster here is it's good. It's fine. Oops.
I plunged the Reaver into the forge and imbued the blade with the elemental power of light. Thus armed, I now had the means to re-enter the stronghold and finally use Mobius's time-streaming device
Excuse me.
to accomplish my own ends.
Gotta be on the flat part of it, I guess. Taste my blade. Taste my blade, vampire.
Arms!
Fucking open the door. All right. Hell. I don't know what just happened. Clicked some. All right, I'm gonna go take this opportunity to refill coffee and do all that stuff.
Here, Raziel. Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must, if Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation.
I understand only this, Kain. That you and Mobius have impelled me to this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters, because I'm cutting them. I set my own course from here.
If it were only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Kain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel. You must understand. Our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth.
Keep your distance, Kain.
Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How, if history is immutable? The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the Soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history.
Is this your sorcery?
Not mine, Raziel. Yours. You have nothing to fear from me, Raziel. You hold all the cards.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity. If what you say is true, you should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
And so you do, Raziel.
The coin's about to land on its edge.
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide.
But Marvel has the multiverse with many different timelines at this point,
Now is the time to prove
which is
Kill me now.
a different discussion for a different day. But I thought that's what the TSA was supposed to be.
I was ordained
Keep
to
one
assume
timeline,
balance
not
guardian
many
of Nosgoth,
multiples.
while you were destined to be its savior.
In any case,
The map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius.
very different from this, where
Was yours. This is madness.
somehow Kane's watched the future
This moment
and knows
be an ending.
that this is the moment where he's supposed to die.
I can't. You can, Raziel. Look inside.
But there's only one timeline, so if you do things different than what's supposed to happen,
Futures.
it has to shuffle, change the time. Fit this paradox.
Poor William.
Gosh, there's so many different ways to treat
What is this?
time travel, at least in stories.
Paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself,
Movies and
finding
such.
its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires.
And this
To
is
the
destiny you urge me
vampires.
to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kain, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions. Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone. Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn. And continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk
Goodness.
away unfettered. A champion of free will and conqueror of
False
false.
histories.
There is much more
Oh,
for you to
win.
unearth, if you have the heart for the truth and the will to see it.
Take the beast down. Seize him.
It's weird, if you jump into the door, they just stop.
Seize him.
I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff. I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never
allies, Mobius.
Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know you.
I chose mercy.
The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert
so
my will
weird.
for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome
Like you're trying to seek revenge on Kain, and then you don't kill him and you listen to him and kind of not really allies, but sort of. You just share the same enemy.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the same.
Merely did not kill him.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This era is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You
Need only touch the two poles of the switch.
And the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man.
Right here.
And forget me.
Oh, you sly son of a bitch. You sly. Ugh. Stuck on 15 seconds. All right.
Even as I emerged from that,
There are opportunities coming up.
I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, abandoned.
I have to heal right in the courtyard. That's okay, but wasn't how it was supposed to be. No, I can continue. I'm okay with that. It's a lot more advantageous to shift up ahead anyways. Don't come after me. I don't want you here.
If I had any doubts about the era I now occupied, this grotesque tableau
It's fine.
only eliminated them.
Stuck on that
For
same...
Mobius, long since murdered by Kain, lionized.
Better than
and
losing
beatified
time,
as the martyred leader of his bloodthirsty crusade. And if I required further evidence, I needed only to behold the gruesome trophy Mobius held.
Best case scenario, you don't take any damage and you're able to get through the whole stronghold without having to shift heal. Which honestly could have happened.
Marked the annihilation of the
I don't usually take damage at the beginning.
far from channeling me into Nosgoth's past.
It's not very...
Mobius had propelled me over a century to its ghastly future. The intent behind this little detour was unmistakable. Having failed to make me his obedient assassin, Mobius intended to keep me ignorant.
It's alright, I have small time saves,
Clearly lay
and then
in Nosgoth's past.
big one coming up.
While his deception only reinforced my purpose, Mobius had effectively stranded me here. This left me no course but to explore the era I now occupied and see what changes the century had wrought following Kain's ill-fated decision. Perhaps time had cleared a path for me into the mountains, where I might unearth more clues behind the mystery of Janos Audren.
The severed head horror. Ow, you jerks. What the hell? Guys. Yeah. Alright. More cutscene.
What pathetic charade is this now, Mobius?
No charade, Raziel. Only the entreaties of this martyred spirit.
Your pleas mean nothing to me after all your deceit. You have propelled me into Nosgoth's future, Mobius, and left me stranded here.
I am truly sorry, Raziel, but it was necessary.
No, you're not.
Consider it the last valiant act of a doomed man.
What?
Strayed from your purpose, and now behold the result.
The last valiant
on the
act.
wasteland, you and Kain.
Nothing you've done is valiant.
I fail to see how I'm responsible.
You spared Kain, and by doing so, you have released a multitude of horrors upon this world. I can accept that Kain has murdered me,
Mobius is legit the one who started this whole thing.
long before it occurred, and I take some small
Like, he knows Vorador is going to attack, and yet
survivor of his
he doesn't do anything about it. He lets Vorador
my sacrifice.
kill a bunch of people,
Your
and in the meantime
arduous time streamer.
is making sure Raziel goes and kills all his brothers.
Would alter these events. This wasteland was
In a kind of way. His brothers and his human self.
Amidst all these twists and turns, that event has never changed. You are cunning, Mobius. I think you've gotten tangled in your own
like an event like that, you would know what's happening and when it's gonna happen.
Pillars sink into a mire of decay, dragging all of Nosgoth down with them.
I don't think this has anything to do with the pillars, or Kain's failure to sacrifice himself. I think you're simply afraid, because you don't know what he's up to. He's a wild card, isn't he? And you don't want his influence in your game. Which is why you wanted me to eliminate him. Well, now that he survived, you have no idea what's coming, do you? Maybe, for the first time in your entire life, you're terrified that he may have truly found a third option out of the dilemma you orchestrated for him.
Kain's lies have addled your mind. Leave this place and trouble my spirit no more.
If you even are a spirit. You've forgotten. I have a way to tell for sure. If you're willing to risk it.
I don't think so. Either way, you lose.
Either way, you lose. Well, at the very least, it's gonna be tight. At the very least, I'll be able to get out of this place. Oh, I didn't want to hit that. Oh, thank God. And yet I still lost time. It's good. It's good, Blades. I mean, I'm ahead. But I haven't been able to shave off more than 15 seconds, and I lost a few somehow on that split. It's fine. I know I have that minute free, sort of. But we'll see.
As I approached, I discerned the
How are you today, Blades?
bound here now for more than a century.
Oh, also Blades.
Forever am I bound, hope abandoned, my spirit tethered to this place. What destroyed the circle could not touch me.
Not that you
for
could
I
see it
was
well,
newly
but
dead and beyond harm's reach. I alone was spared the descent into madness, and Kain alone was spared the pain of death. When Napraptor's poison seized Kain even in the safety of the womb, much more than just his destiny was lost. All of Nosgoth lost balance. Consider us now both of us less than we once were. I, pure but insubstantial, and Kain, terribly real, but corrupted.
Your imprisonment here has deranged you, Spirit. You fixate on Kain because you believe he is the tether that binds you here. We both know he is not the author of your agony. The pillars were subverted by dark forces, invited by the Guardians themselves.
Excuse
The more
me.
I learn of your circle, the more I see a tangle of nested manipulations.
Kain handed them their victory. They sought to topple the pillars, and he was their willing instrument.
Or was he their unwilling pawn? Would it blunt your wrath to know that Kain's dilemma was calculated to bring the pillars down, regardless of
Yes,
the
it was.
and that the devastation would have been even greater had he chosen the path you would prescribe for him?
You are a subtle, deceitful creature. But your clever arguments do not absolve Kain. He must die for the pillars to be restored. There is no other way.
Then consider this more ominous possibility. What if Kain's death does not restore the pillars? Consider that it may simply be too late, that this world may be beyond redemption, and that you may be bound here eternally.
Oh. Nah. Raziel had some great lines.
Why do you hound me, demon? You can see that I am captive here. Show me some mercy.
Like the mercy you showed your fellow Guardians when you set Kain on them, or the mercy you showed Kain when you kept him ignorant of his destiny while you used him as the scourge of the Circle, or perhaps like the mercy you showed your beloved Naprapta when you made him Kain's first kill.
You are cruel. Why do you torment me?
I merely see.
Answers, Ariel. Very well. I'll leave you in peace.
But know this.
You and this purgatory from which you long to escape.
You're merely at the threshold. There. Wow, Raziel can be brutal. Right, somewhere up here. Ah, you hit me. Already taken this much damage. Not gonna be this run. God damn it. Okay. It's good, Blades. I'm ahead, as you can see. But yes, it's good. As you can see, I got up to 15 seconds. I haven't been able to break beyond that, but I have that free minute of time, as you know, as long as it goes well. But it should. That was like a fluke.
Kain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act.
Yeah.
Now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand. By his selfish decision to preserve his
I don't know.
life,
If I can finish a run, I'm like on the cusp of like really putting this time even further down, but who will? Just keep working at it till I get so sick of it I don't ever want to play it again.
What are you trying to obliterate?
Oh, and I tried to show you earlier, and I don't know if you can see it.
And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery, do you appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth's very existence. I am the hub of the wheel, the origin of all life, the devourer of death.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Or maybe you're just hungry. Could it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Do not test my patience, Raziel.
Yes.
I made you.
It's a good mug. The coffee's hot, and I never drink it fast enough to where it doesn't get cold, so
I am beyond death.
it's nice.
There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are.
Cancer, a smoothing parasite.
Burrowed deep in the heart of this world.
Go now.
Play out your pitiful rebellion.
And take your place among the destroyed, the used, and the damned.
But
know this. You are mine for eternity. You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver.
Hang on, I'll be right with you in a second. I see a bunch of questions and comments. This part. Easy to mess up. Oh man, that was close. That was also a really good jump up there. I didn't think I was gonna be up there. I wonder if it's just faster to just jump in the water, because you swim a lot faster than you friggin' walk. I don't know, I mean, you could get burnt out on games, but if you're getting good at the speed run, like, it's motivation to keep trying to grind out times or whatever. As boring as this run can be at times, just it's just the fuck. That's not good. Like, improving times is really motivating. I enjoy, even right now, except for that mess up, which really sucks. Like, it's very motivating just to be able to know that every time that I play, there's a chance I could PB, and then obviously once it gets to a point where it's super optimized, you know, it won't be quite as fun. Very nice. I know I haven't watched it yet, but I plan on it soon-ish. Probably later tonight.
The passage of time had indeed cleared my way forward.
I don't know. Like,
enabling me to explore
speedruns are different because each time,
discover if some evidence of Janos
like, you're gonna make mistakes at the beginning, and then you're gonna feel really good when you remember to do this certain thing and you see that, oh hey, look, I just saved, you know, 15 seconds because I didn't fuck it up. It also gives you a reason to go back and play some of your favorites. Yeah, this way. All right. I mean, Monster Hunter definitely gives you a reason to keep fighting, but besides improving your time.
Collapsing into ruin. Legend claimed that Janos Audren terrorized its villagers until the Sarafan hunters ferreted him out and destroyed him. If there was any truth to the old tales, the lair of the infamous vampire
I don't know. There's also
far away.
right, and it's fun to watch people who do that. Oh man. Ah, I hate when I do that. I get a good jump up onto the wall, and I drop because I'm used to gliding to the wall. But yeah, I mean, I'm in a weird situation now.
This edifice was clearly not crafted.
I could YOLO it.
Architects. As
The chances of successful YOLO are very small.
These were the areas of winged beings. Undoubtedly,
Or I could play it safe, and I know
of the legendary Janos Audren.
I should stay on
The
pace.
entire sanctuary lay in ruin.
Damn, like there's so much time saved if I just YOLO.
Cataclysm. As I suspected, the time streamer's deception ensured
Actually, I still have the Dark
I was
Reaver, too.
centuries too late to unearth anything of consequence here. With nothing behind me but the wasteland I had traversed, I resolved to press on and explore these
I don't know.
canyons further. Oh no.
Every time you turn up, something monumental and terrible happens. I don't think I have the stomach for it.
No drama this time, Raziel.
You are persistent.
And
Crossing time like this to follow me. Still waiting.
there's plenty of Legend of Zelda randomizers out there too, and I'm sure
Biding my time. I see that
like Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past now have,
Yes.
even though they're fan-made, they're true PC builds, so people can, you know, mod them and do those randomizers a lot easier.
Against me to see this wasteland which I single-handedly authored.
My heart doesn't need hardening, Kain.
But that could be
If I
fun
even
too.
suspected that destroying you would make any difference.
Part of running those randomizers and doing speed runs is all about knowing
I knew
every
you'd see through
about the
them,
game.
Raziel. Janos is indeed the key to your destiny, but you'll need to find your own way.
And it can be fun.
Nosgoth's path.
I know doing the same thing over and over doesn't
You
seem
and
fun,
I are
but
now in great danger. We are irritants here.
I highly recommend you
Malevolent
pick
forces are
a
being
game that you
marshaled to eliminate us.
like
You talk as though we're out.
and that you know, and just do a few
Regardless of your
runs
sentiments, Raziel,
and then
in their eyes, we are.
see how you feel
Well,
after you like
trying
kind
to
of learn the
eliminate you.
speed run of it.
Can be no doubt of that. I am a sort of
Not like spend
relentless
months
with
grinding
demands
it, but
for
like
your
take a
demise.
week or two,
Whatever it is that you're plotting,
study it,
scared to death of it. As for me,
learn it,
I suspect they made a
and
grave
then
error
see how
when
you
they
feel.
allowed my unique resurrection. I don't think they know how to destroy me.
You mustn't underestimate them, Raziel.
And who exactly is this diabolical they to which we keep referring? If there's some grand conspiracy going on, the right hand doesn't appear to know what the left is doing. Even Mobius seems to be caught out at every turn.
Mobius is a puppet, Raziel. Haven't you realized that yet? That's the sweetest irony in all of this. Nosgoth's great manipulator is their plaything. But the ones pulling the strings haven't shown their faces
Right.
yet.
They don't like us unwriting their carefully choreographed history, though, do they?
You must understand, Raziel, we haven't unwritten history, we've merely rewritten it. The future.
Now you
flows
seem to
around
do
our
pretty well at it.
interactions, finding
The ones
path
that
of
I've
least
watched, it's been
resistance, while admitting
helpful.
only the slightest alterations. This is the reshuffling you felt when you refused to kill me.
I mean, not that I've
Remember,
playing tactics, but
we are irritants in this regard as well.
but
History
what you
not
have
allow
said
the
is
introduction of a paradigm.
clear enough.
And if events cannot be reshuffled to
And since, you know, you have the achievement,
It is the irritant who's expelled.
your knowledge
This may
is
be exactly the outcome our enemies are
backed
trying.
up, I guess.
We must tread very carefully.
Do I YOLO? Fuck it. Fucking right. God damn it. Oh, yes. Ready for this, Blades? Fucking YOLO. I feel silly, but holy shit. Oh. I'm sorry, if you had the volume on and customers. Ah.
The scenes I discovered here were unambiguous. This race of winged beings, the architects of the pillars and the creators of the Reaver, were Nosgoth's first vampires. Their bloodthirst appeared to be a curse, inflicted upon them by their vanquished enemies. These images confirmed the truths that Kain had divulged to me, but I had been too incredulous to accept. I struggled in vain to see how the pieces fit together, how Kain intended to escape the dilemma of his destiny, and what role he had plotted for me, and why Mobius and the dark powers with which he seemed to be allied were so desperate to see Kain dead, and so intent on me being the instrument of his execution.
All right. Now it's time to really focus. Not that I haven't been, but I have this massive time save that I've been gunning for a long time. Stop dipping my frames. Excuse me. Here come the burps. Ugh. A funny cutscene. All right. All right. Cool. Very nice. Don't forget. After dropping the heart, grab the Dark Reaver. Alright, cut way right, way left, then back. Damn, I should have got the boost. His feet started to leave the ground. One, two. Three, 4, 5. Get out of there. I don't know why they keep getting stuck behind there and then I can't move it. Ugh, it's annoying. That's like never happened except for like the past 3 or 4 runs. Alright, this is good. Wow. I just don't know how I picked up that much time on my golds.
As the Reaver drained the
I'm gonna
forge of
argue.
its vital energy, the
All right.
tempest receded. I recovered myself and paused to admire my newly forged weapon, now imbued with the elemental power of air. Thus armed, I hoped that I now finally possessed the means to escape this wasted land.
Excuse me again.
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised.
Cracked
At last,
or
I had the
compromised.
means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago in the
Yes.
south.
Let's get to the time stream
Now,
chamber.
perhaps,
Let's do it.
I could leave this wasteland and return to an era when Janos Audren still lived.
Man. You're really angry right now.
no choice but to act purely on blind faith. There was no way to tell what error this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion.
Hurled myself into oblivion.
To the hand of fate.
Oh, get up there. Get. Oh.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the error I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Audren still lived, I would find him. But I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
Let's run, Raziel. Those lanterns are burning for a very long time. Also, how those skulls have not deteriorated, I don't know. In 600 years, or whatever. I guess they wouldn't have deteriorated now, but in the future.
For all the butchery of Mobius's crusade, this massacre was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
All that is holy!
By all that is holy!
In the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order, their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue, I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt. For I had seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
Will you lunge? God damn it. My God. I'm lost there, but... Jeez. Why he's not friggin' lunging?
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of
Ugh, that's 2 times in a row. I should go around the long way, because I only have to fight the 2 that are right there.
The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height,
Excuse me.
so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
See. Don't you guys effing do it. Well, whatever it's gonna be, it won't be as good as it could have. But it'd still be a little. All right.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, this towering labyrinth seemed impassable. The object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp.
Beyond my grasp.
Here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Audren was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. And I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
Be you angels. Hey, we are but men. All right. This is a long little cutscene. Alright, jump up. Don't forget to fill the bowl. First thing I gotta do though is shoot the two light things. Really not? Why are you way at the back? Alright. Fail, light Reaver, jump up, but you go to the left. Yes, yes. Also, get to fill the bowl. The bowl's filled with infinite amounts of blood. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Alright, Janos, I'm almost there. Nice. Alright, this is my last chance to pee.
Janos Audren. It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt. Raziel? My child, what have they done to you?
I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why.
For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them?
I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile.
I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They
You
fear
must
what
hate
they
them.
don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't.
For their hair to stay like it
understand what
does, do
they're
you think
doing.
they wake up every day
They
and
are
just
simply
can do it?
unenlightened and vulnerable to
How do you think he
manipulation.
gets that slick back?
So, it's all true then. What Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up.
Please, take it away from me. I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos! No!
My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius's staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. It may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly
Sorry about that. You know, all that real life stuff. Alright. Back to this. What am I doing? It's not the right one. Damn it. That's not going to be a gold. Okay, though. Alright, jump, grab the light Reaver, swim down, grab the torch. Just remembering all the things. Cutscenes are so long. Right. Perhaps may have saved a couple seconds. Okay. Take it.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
This is like Janos' bedroom or something weird. Just tucked away at the back of his house. Or the place that he lived.
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
Remember the sword.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone.
For you
Without it,
and you alone.
there is no hope.
So weird, right? So the weapon was forged, and so whatever ends up happening, it's Raziel's soul that powers it.
Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it.
All right.
In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the
I know now
self-dogs
why you
to the
cry.
loathsome fortress.
It's something I can never
Janos
do.
Audren's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery.
It's a random Terminator 2 quote for no reason. Just popped in my head.
Take the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid,
Alright.
I would reclaim Janos Audren's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
The Reeds.
We've been expecting you, little Razia.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These
Here we go.
creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me.
Let's go.
This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
No! Not supposed to be able to click out of the friggin' window.
Do you really think
You can save Nosgoth. Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel. The savior of Nosgoth. Damn it! Honestly, not the worst, but big time loss. Like 30 seconds, probably. Just disappointing a little bit. I could have had a 335, but it's still possible. Most likely it won't, because I have to shift here anyways. It's the fastest way up. I don't really want it. Too far out of the way. I should have grabbed it. That would have saved me time down. Damn it! Oh, I should have just grabbed it. Now that I know it's there, that's in the route.
You shall not.
That'll make fighting him a lot easier, and I won't. It'll make fighting that guy a lot easier. Not to mention, I won't have to friggin' grab it down here. Maybe it's too far out of the way, but I feel like it's faster than this. Damn, I never knew that was up there. Yes, Blades. Yes is the answer. I was hoping for under 36 minutes. Or 3 hours 36. But it's fine. It should be an improvement unless, you know, things go south real quick, but damn, I lost 30 seconds almost.
Me, Raziel.
Yeah,
I wonder, old one.
it's fine.
Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply
I
there
figured as
when I
much.
awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Kain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate.
the final battles have to go well, and they're very
Been used by others time and
tenuous.
but always I seem to stray from their path.
Just,
What is it about me, demon, that makes
it's
me
hard.
such an
Sometimes they go really well, sometimes they don't, and there's not much I can do
on and on in an endless succession of
to make
humiliating
it
deaths
better,
and
I
resurrections.
guess.
It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history.
But if
than
it
I
goes
know.
as good as it can be,
Perhaps more
I
than
can
you
save a
as well.
little more time. About 2 minutes. It would have been 2.5, but alas, I was not able to get the perfect fight that I needed. Yeah, it's still really good. I am happy. It's just now I know there's still like another minute that I can save doably. But also this, I don't know. I don't want to, you know, count my chickens before they hatch, as the saying goes. But should this be as much of an improvement as it looks to be, then I think I will finally make myself give the game a break.
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Get away. Guard me, brothers.
Get him! Free your soul, demon!
All right, shoot, lady. Let's go. Let's go. Now, Malik. Bolt the door.
Seize him!
That was shitty.
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now. And I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have
Business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Seraphim to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every
You
move.
vile bastard.
My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger near the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel.
And now, this is where you see just how Mobius shapes everything.
History on me. I'm
The time stream. I knew your every move.
before you did.
Whoop.
You imbecile.
They can feast on your corpses.
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik.
This one's the real danger.
What are you trying to concoct,
Excuse me.
Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine
Imagine
I
I simply allow you
to run
on.
loose, corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius.
Now, Malik.
Mistake I will
Bolt the
Wrong
door.
again, Raziel. Now, Malik, bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade
Come on.
tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
All right. Make or break right here.
Come to take your revenge, demon.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these these two. Milkaya and Zephon fell before my blade. I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keen as ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me...
Well, I'm not done. That was okay. It wasn't bad. That one's usually the biggest pain for me. Wasn't too bad. I mean, I don't know. I think it's better than some of my others, but we'll see.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
Through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke. And I reveled as I
Holy
colluded with him
shit.
across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses.
Just looking at the
to
sum of
raise
best.
as his
It's crazy.
vampire sons a millennium from
I
now.
didn't think a time like that was possible. Damn it.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard.
The vampire Terrell had eluded my vengeance. Seraphin Terrell
would not.
All right, coming up on time.
Here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend,
Aren't you?
Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick.
As you did for Janos.
No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Audren turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
Ugh. New record. Ugh. Yes. All right.
My history.
That's pretty good.